Hello, lovelies, and welcome back to An Angel's Life of Bookish Goodness. Today we are celebrating Rebekah Jonesy's book release of Moss and Clay, and welcome back the first book in the Mob's Doll series. And this is actually going to be a 2-hour event, and the first part is going to be me and Rebekah talking fun stuff about her book and her series and where it's going and what she's doing. And then at the top of the hour, we will be joined by Drew Carmody, A.F. Stewart, and my son, Robert Angel. And I have a fun little Faye trivia thing for everybody to participate in. And when I say everybody, I do mean everybody, because J.D. Estrada, who is an amazing booktuber and author friend of Rebekah's and I.
And person.
And yes.
An amazing person.
He's just an amazing person, period. But he donated. He wasn't able to be here today because he's got family obligations. But he donated a gift crate to the readers who participate in the comments. So if you look in the description of the video.
Participate in the comments now?
Yes. Readers who participate.
An Estrada crate? Awesome.
Yes, and they get to choose which one. Now, do keep in mind that this is limited to those in the United States or U.S. territories. So Hawaii, Guam, Puerto Rico, you guys are all included. But because these are physical paperbacks, he can't ship to other countries. Is too expensive. But he's got 2 awesome crates down there. One is a poetry crate, which is a collection of several of his poetry books, which is absolutely amazing for those of you who love poetry. And then the other is Being Human, which I wish I could play this game because I really want the Being Human crate. It's absolutely amazing. But so when we get to the trivia part, you guys go ahead and participate, answer the questions as they come up in the comments. And there's also a link in the description for you to fill out the form, because he has to have your name, your contact information, and all of that to be able to send the book to whoever wins. And each time you comment, that will enter you into my randomized drawing. So it's not who gets the most answers, or it's not who gets the answers first. It's each comment gets an entry into the drawing, which means that those of you who are here with us right now can throw in some extra comments and get some extra entries. But it is a randomized drawing, so anybody who comments is able to win. And yeah, so be sure to participate in that because it's going to be awesome. And I am going to work on cutting up the questions, and I'm going to turn the time over to Rebekah to tell us a little bit about Moss and Clay, the Mob's Doll series, and some of the things that she has planned so far for this series. So Rebekah, take it away.
So Mab's Doll, if you guys don't know Mab, she is actually from Shakespeare. She is a queen of the Fae, and she is known as the midwife of the Fae. She lives in the Underhill. Like all of the stories, it's complicated and twisted, and of course they're made up off of old stories. So I decided to put my own twist on Mab, and she is the Queen of the Shadows. So she moves through the shadows, literally. Her magic controls shadows, literally. So she's super strong, super cool, and she has never had a child until now. Because it's not just Mab's doll, but the doll was actually brought to life through her blood. If you have grabbed my freebie, Out of Shadows, you'll see that Mab actually slices herself open to pour out enough blood fast enough to bring the doll to life. And her magic itself pours out with her blood. So the doll she creates is mixed with human blood from a willing donor who is a good friend of hers, and together they become parents of this doll. And then she gets sent to America to track down and find, kill, return, or maybe just help the Fae that are lost there, because there is no portal to the underworld in America. And poor Heidi, she thinks this is going to be a series of like 15-ish books, but I plan on writing 50 at least.
Oh yeah,
one for each state.
Every time I turn around.
There's going to be one for each state. I am taking stories and legends from each state. I've actually started, I know I've lived in a lot of states already, but I haven't lived in all of them, obviously. I love ghost stories. And I am taking those stories, I am mixing them with some creepypasta, I am mixing them with some urban legends, and I am putting my own little Fae twist on things. And one thing you should always know when reading Mab's Doll series is it is not what it seems. You know, like I've said my entire writing career, everyone has their own stories, and everyone has more than one story. So, while Jillian is Mab's doll, she's also more than that, because she is literally the granddaughter of the sky, and that's going to play a role later too. She is also literally the goddess Danu's granddaughter, and that will play a role. And she runs into a bunch of things, and nothing is what they appear to be. And she has to figure out what their truth is, and then figure out how to deal with them. And she has to do all of this with a grand total of, say, about 10 months life. She's about 10 months, 10 weeks old. She is 10 weeks old when she hits the American shore. Max. So, not a lot of experience to draw on there.
But she does have a benefit / curse, if you will, of having both her father's and her mother's memories, right? But she doesn't have any.
None of that is really a curse, but it's a ton of information, because her mother, whose memory she has, is literally like 1 nanosecond younger than time.
Right. Well, and then the curse part of it, I guess, to me, is that she has all of these memories, but no reference points for them. So
and that is a
hard.
serious issue.
Yeah, and she doesn't have, it's like you can read about what it's like to be in war. You can read about what it's like to be shot. You can read about what it's like to kill other people, but having that knowledge doesn't really truly prepare you for the actual experience. It's better than having no knowledge, but
she also has more than the knowledge, though. She does in fact have the memories of the event, but those memories are centuries old. So you know how things fade with time.
Right, but they're also not her memories, so she has to. She doesn't have the reference.
She had to disconnect. You see at the beginning of the book, she had to disconnect from it a little, because when she gets up, she tries to move, like she remembers moving. But that's her mother's body that was moving, and it doesn't fit hers.
Right, and the same thing with a lot of and also just the being able to recall and sift through all of that stuff that's so new is just. I thought that was really a very cool part. I mean, it's a very small part, but I mean, it's the first 4 chapters.
It's small right now, but it'll continue through the whole thing. Like I said, there's about 50 of them I plan on writing. I'm probably not going to get them all published, but I'm still going to write them all. And then I'm just going to hand the copyright info over to my niece and nephew and have them continue on.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'm very excited about this series. I think, and I love the fact that you already have it planned. Like some series, I won't name names, you can tell where the author clearly didn't have an idea I mean, they weren't originally planning on writing that many, and they kept writing just because the series got popular.
The money was in it, yeah.
And you can definitely feel that it loses that original.
I'm going state by state, starting in New Jersey. I have a giant map that I am plotting this out on. It's not up here yet, but it will be. You guys may have seen the picture of my map with my puppy when I first got my puppy.
Yes, I saw it. It was
well, now he stands up to here. I thought I had made this screen tall enough that he wouldn't be able to reach it. No, he's going to be a big dog. He is not the dog I thought he was going to be. I didn't even know there was such thing as a leopard dog, but apparently there is, and that's him. But back to it. Yeah, I've got it. Like I said, I'm starting in New Jersey, and we're gonna arc up a little, and we're gonna move around, and then we're gonna come down south. And I already have Pennsylvania and New York and probably Rhode Island planned out. She has to avoid the big cities because she is traveling with another fae, and let's face it, a regular fae won't be in a big city anyway. They can't handle iron. You know, in my series, the fae are still, you know, iron is a death metal to them. So they try and avoid it. And that's part of why they are stuck in America. Some of them just can't get out. But I have all of that planned out already. And as of today, I realize that I'm going to have super fun because I'm going to write that there's a kraken in the Mississippi River.
That is awesome.
I realized this morning that I said it's released. And I was like, crap, now I want to write a book about a kraken so I can say the kraken's released. And then boom.
Well, and the really fun part is that would make sense for certain lakes that have mythical creatures in them that connect to the Mississippi, and why we can never find them. So I like that. That's very clever.
I have already figured it out, and I know how they're all interconnected, but I'm not going to tell everyone. But yeah, all of the lakes that have the supernaturals and the creepy crawlies and the skinwalkers and things like that. Yeah, I already have their bases set up. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. I have about 20 already planned out, not plotted out, but planned out. And some of them are in fact state specific. Some of them are kind of free floating. So we'll have to see where they fall. And then of course I have everything. My titles of my books are all linked. So you can literally follow them on. After Moss and Clay is Clay and Blood, and after Clay and Blood is Blood and Shadows. And it'll keep going that way. And once again, because Jillian is in fact so very, very young and only really has the memories, you'll find out as you read my first book, she actually has the memories of 3 people now. But she has not a lot of reference points, and you know, because the people whose memory she has lived very insular lives. You know, none of them, only one of them has ever even been to America, and he lived a very, very short, very, very insular life. So, and I've got a ton of mini stories that have sprung up off of this too. And I'm still not certain. I meant for this book to be a short, but it may in fact become a full-blown novel. Remember I told you I was going to make this short story about Bast? The Egyptian cat goddess? Well, it got a little big.
Of course it did.
I mean, it's a cat. What? Can't just catch a cat easily, especially not when she's got a plan. You know, she's got a job she needs to get done.
Oh, I am so excited. I really am. So I've read all of Moss and Clay. For those of you who follow my book reviews, I did a book review as part of Rebekah's tour. And I absolutely loved it. I actually had the privilege of reading the first section of Moss and Clay back when Rebekah first started writing it. And it was just, I think it was only, 7,000 words at that point. And you're like, just let me know, does it make sense? Am I on the right track? Because this is your first venture into writing.
My first fantasy.
Yeah, fantasy. And so she sent it over to me, and I was reading it. And I absolutely loved the description. I mean, even back when it was first draft, absolutely loved the description of how Mab uses shadows and why she can't use them in America. It's really cool. But I absolutely died when I got to the Troll King. And
Lillian read that today, and she messaged me, and she's like, "Holy crap, the Troll King! I did not expect that."
I know, I love it. I mean, and that scene was where Rebekah had ended, and I went, up until the Troll King, this really felt like it could have easily been more like traditional fantasy, and I wasn't sure where it was going, and then that threw it in there. I was like, that sold it, urban fantasy, and absolutely hysterical. I live with several.
There's nothing traditional about my books ever.
No, but it just at the beginning it has that very traditional fantasy feel, and then it moves into the urban fantasy, and it's really fun because one of the things that we as indie authors have the privilege of doing is we can blend genres, and we can we don't have to
follow a script.
Right. And we don't have to, because we're not marketing to trade like mass market. We have the luxury of being able to mishmash. That's the word I was looking for. Mishmash different genres. And, urban fantasy wasn't really a thing in traditional publishing until the indie authors made it popular and the traditional publishers started going after it. It was in YA. It wasn't in, for adults. Same thing with paranormal fantasy. It didn't really become as big of a thing until the indies made it a big thing. And then traditional publishers started picking it up. So it's really fun watching indie authors take and mishmash stuff together and create these new genres that weren't really a thing before. And that's one of the things that I love. Even though this is technically an urban fantasy, there's all these nuances of the other things. You've got the American Legends piece that you're blending and the creepypasta piece that you're blending and to these urban fantasy elements that are also very traditional fantasy type. And then you've got the whole detective thing, and there's, just, I don't know. I'm really excited to see where it goes. I'm very excited. So, and I've also had the privilege of seeing a small, tiny snapshot of Clan Blood. And I'm excited for that one too. That one's coming out when again?
My rough draft. Yep.
Well, it was just the one scene that made me go, oh my God, I need to read this book. But when is Mawson?
Was it the hot tub scene?
Yes. When is Clan Blood coming out again? Remind me.
September.
Yeah. So she's definitely on a fast publishing track. Are you planning on 2 books a year or
2 to 3?
2 to 3.
Sorry, yeah. Well, it's going to be 2 and then 3 and then 2 and then 3 more than likely.
Okay. So yeah. So we won't have to wait long to get more of the pleasure and the joy that is Mob's Doll series.
And the terror. Jeez, I have not been able to get in my hot tub since I wrote that scene.
I consider
it ruined hot tubs for
the
me.
Pleasure. For me, that is pleasurable. I enjoy being scared. So I know I'm weird. but
I seriously I trimmed back the trees from my hot tub. Like I trimmed the branches so none of them are near me. Because that's where I came up with the idea of it. I was in the hot tub one night because I'm an idiot, and I was like, oh, this makes a perfect scene. Do-do-do-do-do. I wrote it out, and then I was like, then the wind blows and tree creaks. I was like,
maybe you woke something up. Yeah, no, I am
nice
super
trees. Don't eat me.
Right.
I blame poltergeist for that fear.
Oh,
That's a terrible thing I brought from poltergeist watching it as like a 4-year-old or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
When the tree eats the bird.
Yep. That was definitely freaky
Like
experience.
that's what scared me. Yep.
And now you're going on to scare other generations with even more horrifying pieces.
But there's a happy little song in there too.
That's true. Okay, wait. We have Regine Nabeed in the audience, and Regine says that I do love all of the crazy mixing of elements that makes this book not a genre book, but a real story in the real world. Absolutely.
Aww.
Hello, folk. How are you? Yes, we've got people in the audience.
Hi, Lillian. Oh, which reminds me. She's already seen this because she started reading, but where did it go? Oh my god, I'm such a dork. I went to open the book earlier, and I got distracted and started reading hers instead. Okay, I'm going to do... Heidi, you're muted, honey.
I said, shame on you. Oh, do you mean Lillian's new book? Is that the one you're reading?
Yes.
Is it as awesome as I think it is?
No, it's better. It is so much better. I want to read my dedication, because last time I did, apparently the video didn't come through. So this book is dedicated to Lillian Oak, who believed in me and encouraged me to try my hand and brain at something new, and who endured repeated beta read requests and me begging for insight and advice. Thank you so much, Lillian, for helping me with the concept and how to make it work too. You gave me the confidence to submit my book for publishing. Thanks, Lillian. I needed mom advice, for writing the scenes as a mom. How does the mom feel? I'm not a mom, so I was constantly pestering her.
Well, and originally, didn't you try to get Lillian to write the series? Like, you guys were brainstorming what would be a cool fantasy book? Because Lillian is a fantasy author. She's an amazing fantasy author.
Yeah, when I first came up with this idea. Yeah.
We check her out. Absolutely awesome. Great YA stuff, too. So, but yeah, that's how that originally started, right?
Yep. She and I were chatting in a YouTube chat one day. Well, it's probably on a Go Indie panel.
I wouldn't be surprised. It usually is, right? Poor Joe. Yeah. He gets dragged into all of our fun.
He brings all the people together.
He really does. He really does.
Aww. I'll let you read the YouTube comment, because otherwise it just ends like I'm bragging.
Sounds like you're bragging. Okay, so Ella Folk says, you're absolutely wonderful, and your story has had me laughing today. I'm happy to see you jumping into fantasy. Fantasy needs more female authors. Absolutely, that's true. It is, urban fantasy, there's more and more in urban fantasy, but they certainly don't get the recognition that like Jim Butcher gets. So it's good to see more of us jumping in there, and hopefully we'll see us growing in popularity.
Well, let's face it, with our group, which I also have to praise massively, Julia is not on here, but hopefully she's listening. Julia, my editor, amazing.
Yes. Julia is awesome.
She really helped me build the scenes, and she really, really helped me nail that opening scene in the next book, too.
Oh, I'm so excited. Your opening changed in this book. Was that Julia's recommendation too, or?
Yes,
yeah.
I completely redid.
I liked the original, but this one definitely gave a better reference for those who aren't already familiar with the legend of Queen Mab. So
yeah, I grew up on this stuff, so it was really I know about all of this. Where's the question here? And she had to, unfortunately, keep reminding me that not everyone knows this. You know, you're
The
gonna
legend
need to
of-
explain this. Like, what's the difference between Seelie and Unseelie?
Right, right.
Well, everyone knows that. One's from the light court and one's from the dark court. What?
Yeah.
But this time
Everybody.
I made it literally. So that helped me figure that out. Like, those in my telling of it, the Seelies are literally from the light court where there is more light. It's like all light. There's like barely even shadows. There is so much light in that court.
Right, right.
And the Unseelie are from the dark court where there is no light except starlight and a little bit of moonlight.
Mm-hmm.
So people look like where they come from too.
Yep. And I will say that although I did know the difference between Seelie and Unseelie, having that refresher was very helpful because you forget that Queen Mab is technically Unseelie. So, and a lot of times, especially in some of the newer stuff that has come out, Unseelie are usually portrayed as being evil or bad just because they're dark. And that's not the case at all. In yours, they are what they are. It's not good or bad. It's more, I don't know. I like it.
Yeah.
It's good.
And the people from the bright court are in fact literally themselves darker because they're always in the sun.
Right, right.
They are very dark-skinned people in the light court, in the Seelie court. And in the Unseelie court, where everyone's always in the dark, they're very pale and reflective even.
Right, right. Ella Folk says that she absolutely loves how you played with the senses in that first bit where Julian was coming to life, the hearing, the sound, dealing with the sight, etc. I completely agree, Lillian. It was amazing how beautifully you wrote all of those different senses without it feeling like, oh, she's trying to throw in the senses. So like that's the thing that for those who don't write may not know, there's this big focus when teaching writers. It's kind of like the show don't tell thing. It's getting beaten into writers' heads to where they go over the top in describing scenes with other senses, not just he said, she said. And it frequently, it does feel like, oh, okay, so we're getting the scent, we're getting the, you know, it's like they're going through a checklist. I have all these senses in the scene, and it gets very clunky in the writing, but you didn't do that at all. You hit all of the feelings, but they all were, it made sense. It felt like I was actually going through what Jillian was going through, and that's exactly how I would have felt those senses. And as someone who has spent more than a few weeks in her life having her eyes bandaged and not being able to see, that's exactly how that would have felt. So I really connected with that. I thought that was amazing.
And again, that was Julia going over that with me piece by piece as well.
Yeah, you guys did an amazing. You know what? I mean, I'm sure
Julia write it, but Julia's like, tweak this here and tweak that there. But yeah, once again, my editor really made my story pop.
I'm sure that Julia did help with her tweaking, but I remember being impressed with it the first time I got it. That was the thing that I went, holy crap, she's doing such a great job with the sensory that that's when I knew, when you were like, I don't know, am I on the right track? I don't feel super confident. I usually write romance, so is this working? And I was like, yes, this is amazing. And then I got to the Troll King and I was like, sold. I want the book. Go finish it. And it's funny because I know I'm obsessed with the Troll King, but I mean, anybody who has teenage boys in particular, boys on the internet all the time will truly appreciate the Troll King. He's not the best character in the story, but he is definitely the best throwaway character, if you know what I mean. I mean, the fact that he doesn't have a big role, at least not in the first book, but it is an important role. But just for the little scene that he's in, he really just steals the story. And there are tons of other amazing characters all through it, but he really is the one that I hope he ends up in other stories. I really do. I don't know.
He is going to be making pop-ups every now and then, yes.
That makes me so happy.
Don't forget what he does
Oh, I
So
know.
he's
I
going to
know.
be contacting her off and on
Oh,
all
I'm so
throughout,
happy.
and he's going to be himself all throughout.
Of
Because he's in the
course.
Underhill. He doesn't age.
Exactly. I'm so excited. You just made my week. Seriously. Oh, I'm so excited. So Regine says that she absolutely I like how she mixes literal and metaphorical uses of English words when she says dark as literally dark, evil, grim. It takes a couple of readings to figure it all out. That's true, Regine. Absolutely.
I had a lot of fun playing with English in this. I mean, not gonna lie. Yeah. I chose my words very specifically to keep playing with words. What I love to do.
Yeah, it was very fun. And you know, that's one of the things that I've now read Moss and Clay 3 times, plus that first scene, so 3.5 times. But every time you get something new and different out of it, and that's always to me a good sign of a good story. Like, not that it's fair to really compare this to The Sixth Sense, but we're going to anyway, because Sixth Sense is one of those stories that I absolutely loved it. It was absolutely amazing. It was great watching it the second time because you go, okay, yes, this is where they set that up. Yes, this is where they set that up. Yes, this is where they set that up. But the third time watching it, you're just like, okay, all the surprise is gone. I'm not that excited anymore. But when you have a really good story like Harry Potter or like Moss and Clay, each time you read it, you find new things and new secrets that you didn't that make you go, oh, does this hint at something coming next? Ooh, is this going to be something that develops further in the next story? And it's killing me that I have to wait till September.
Everything I wrote in this book is going to lead to something else. Like when we get to book, it's either going to be book 6 or 7. Like so many things from book 1 are going to change for you. And you're like, wait a minute, when he did so it's going to be a lot of fun. And like I said, I have it all plotted out. And when they get to probably Nevada, I'm thinking there's going to be a big change.
Uh-huh.
So I'm just not sure if I'm going to make them go to the southeast first or if they're going to stay northish and move along. I know they're going to come as low as North Carolina before moving west. Not exactly sure how the movement's going to go. And then later they get a vehicle, so that's going to be a lot of fun. That's probably going to be about book 10 or 11.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'll be right back.
Uh-oh. I'm all alone. Oh, and apparently Lillian Oak also, like, she says that, ooh, when playing with shadows and lakes, very visual. Yeah, she continues to play. Oh, Lillian hasn't gotten to the beach scene yet. You're muted again, Heidi. But yeah, Lillian, wait until you get to the beach scene where she tries to play with the shadows some more. And I think it's hilarious. And so does Pitch. Pitch also thinks it's hilarious.
And Pitch was right. I love Pitch so much. Let's talk about Pitch for a little bit because I have some theories that I'm excited to see where things go with Pitch later in the series. So
no, after the cop scene. LFO just asked in the chat, I'm there, lol, with the cop, and I said no, after the cop. Okay, the first time with the cop, that is also hilarious. And she's like, you humans and your freaking, why does everyone have to get dressed and you can't be naked at all? Like, no public nudity, ma'am. Sorry, we're not doing that. Yeah. She continues to.
And I loved the play on American You know what I'm talking about. So Americans are
the hamburger.
yes, yes, that one was funny too. But Americans are typically seen as either being extremely conservative about sex and nudity, or like the other wild extreme. And she really plays with that frustration that foreigners might feel about that, because we can't be naked, but we use such ridiculous advertising of nudity in everything that we sell, like stuff that has nothing to do with sex. We put sex into it.
Hamburgers.
Like hamburgers, yes.
Like, what was it, that one food company did a commercial, and a woman's walking through an organic farmer's market, and like her boobs the entire time are covered with different types of food, so it looks like she's naked the whole time. Like, I'm all for nudity and being adults and things like that, but that's a little much. It was in bad taste. So should I read from the comments now?
Yes, feel free. Go hit up the comments. Sorry, I'm trying to.
Rasheen says also the ooh, I love this part moment. You know what's happening, and you read it again because it's fun. Aw, thanks.
Yes.
And Oh, RJ, how did you come up with the name for Pitch? Honestly, Pitch named himself. It was really weird. Like, I'm literally just typing the scene, and Simon kneels down to ask Pitch what his name is, and there you go. His name is Pitch. So I often looked at it, and I asked a couple of people, I was like, what would you guys name a dog? Looks like this, acts like this. And, they gave me Blackie and Ebony and a couple of other really cool ones, but it didn't fit. Like, his name is Pitch. And then I even had to go back later because it was so natural to me. My editor asked, she was like, but why did he name him Pitch? Why did he say he's fiery? I was like, oh, that's right, because I haven't typed this in the past, so I had to back it up and explain. Because if you have read the book now, even as far as Lillian's gotten by now. No, Lillian doesn't know this yet. Maybe I should save this because it's spoiler. Oh, she's leaving. Yeah. I gotta drop out for a bit here, but I'll try to come back in. Have fun. Okay. Simon is actually the cop. He is a seventh son of a seventh son. And if you know anything about legends, you know that is a special thing. It's a mystical thing. Usually they are healers of some kind, and that's what she tells him. She's like, oh, so you're a healer. But one thing they all are, and it's a seventh daughter of a seventh daughter as well, both of those work, is they are very much in tune with the mystical. So when Simon kneels down and looks at Pitch, he sees that there's something fiery in Pitch, even though Pitch is working very hard to hide it. Because Pitch, of course, wants to pass himself off as a regular dog so that he doesn't freak out the human. So
I love Pitch. Pitch is fun. And Pitch kind of, I get a kick out of Pitch because Pitch is an unknown, unpredictable element. He wasn't originally supposed to be on her journey. He just showed up, and she was like, okay, I'm not going to say no to some extra help. But, when I first read about Pitch, I was like, is he good or bad? He's up to something, isn't he? And then I briefly flirted with the idea of him being like in love with her or something. And then he squashed those dreams. But
I did.
So now I'm like, what is Pitch up to? But he's up to something because, well,
I will go ahead and give this one spoiler. Pitch does not have a human form.
Oh.
He will never have a human form. He is not humanoid in the least. Not poor Pitch. Pitch is a lot cooler than you think.
Oh, I doubt it. I have absolutely no doubt that there's something really good and really
Pitch is a lot cooler than you think, and that's going to take a long time to come out. Because did you notice that every other Fae she met in the court knew where she was going and then just sit back and wait, bye-bye, have fun, good luck? Because every Fae that had gone to America to try and save their brethren was never heard from again. Not just didn't make it back, but they were never heard from again. They just disappeared. And even the goddess Danu, who takes their souls back when they die, says that they're lost. So where are they? No one was willing to go and try. Because it's one thing to risk your life. It's another thing to risk your soul. And they realize that that is, in fact, what's happening.
Right. So we have a question from Sakreldi Aknar. What do you enjoy more with your book? Telling people about it or having people find it on their own?
Having people find it on their own, for sure. A couple of people made guesses about both Simon and Pitch in my beta readers, and one of them got real close to the reality of Pitch, like real close. I was like, someone knows their history. Someone knows their ancient lore. I'm really, really afraid, honestly, that Anita, who's going to be joining us soon, because she's a treasure trove of knowledge. Okay, I'm already going to say this. Anita's going to kick my ass in this game. In the trivia challenge, she's going to kick my ass.
Yeah, Drew's going to have a run for his. Oh, you guys. So for those of you who watched the Monster Huntress trivia game that we did for the Monster Huntress release, which was absolutely a blast, Drew Carmody ended up winning that. And he joked about making a title belt. It's not
championship belt.
He has a title belt, y'all. He created.
He actually made it. It is amazing.
It is so adorable. Yeah, I got to see the picture this morning. So he's going to be bringing that, and he's ready to take on. But I think Anita might be getting that belt, man.
Oh, Anita's getting that belt.
I think it could happen. I do. I did throw in some. I don't think it'll really throw her off, but I did throw. So this is our happy question thingy, and I have a nice mix of questions. There's some that are from old Fae lore and Fae tradition. There's some creepypasta thrown in. There's some, of course, Fae bookish stuff, talking about some of the newer stuff, which might throw her off, maybe. But because I haven't seen her talking about some of the Fae books that are out, like the newer ones. Like,
did you see her on Fantasy Fiends? Did you see her on that?
On
Did you
which
see her
one?
absolutely own them both? Fantasy Fiends, the Fantasy Fiends podcast.
I didn't see
Andy Peliquin and Stevie. What is Stevie Collier?
I don't remember.
I can spell it, but I don't know how it's pronounced.
She's the dwarf.
Yeah, she didn't just school them. She schooled me. Like, apparently, I've been saying the side wrong the entire time. Apparently, it's actually pronounced she. Yeah, she knows this shit inside and out.
Well, I know she has amazing, especially when it gets to the older legends and stuff and like the back alley type storylines. I absolutely love her in-depth knowledge. But I haven't seen her talk a whole lot about some of the newer stuff like Court of whatever that Sarah J. Maas series is, or there's a couple of other newer ones. I haven't really seen her.
I'm not going to know that either then.
The newer stuff. So, you know, depending on Drew's cockiness, or my son Robert is also joining us. Those are questions he might be able to answer. But there are a lot of the Fae questions and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm excited about that. So Sakreldi has another question. How do you overcome writer's block? I'm experiencing a lot of it and can't write past. How do we knock him out?
Oh, yeah. For things like that, how do I knock him out? You know, to make the story go forward. I totally get up and act it out. Yep.
I have been known to do that as well. A lot of my fights.
Also, I have access to quite a few kiddos, so I'm not afraid to use them as my puppets.
Yeah, I use my husband's like,
give them.
Yep, okay. No, I'm just kidding.
I have props.
Yeah,
so
props.
I also have Nerf bats and Nerf swords and all kinds of things. So they can have at it. They can act it out. My nephew does a really good death scene.
I also watch a lot of YouTube videos that show people acting out those moves. That's also very helpful. And then for writer's block in general, when you have a point where you're not sure, you know, I know there's going to be a fight scene here, but I haven't planned it out yet. But if you know where the rest of the story is going, just put a placeholder and do the research after and write the rest of it, and then come back to those pieces that need to be filled in. So,
well, you don't have to actually beat people up to figure it out, but you can get up and move around. Like, pretend that you're your MC. Get up and make the movements that you've already described. See what would naturally happen next. Like, you're going to knock him out. Okay, how are you going to knock him out? Are you going to knock him out for a little bit? How hard are you going to have to hit him? Because if you just go donk, you know, he's going to be a little confused. So you have to hit him hard enough on the top of the head to, like, drive him down. You know, things like that. I mean, obviously, if you have a willing participant who, like, signs a contract saying you can beat him up, hey, go for it. But once again, that's why I use kids. But for general writer's block, you know, I just don't know what I'm going to do next. Honestly, physical exercise. I have to get up and get moving. You know, go stretch out, got to get the blood pumping, got to get the muscles working, because writing uses up a lot of energy, but it's all brain power. And your body starts lagging behind after a while. You got to get up and move, which is why Heidi and I both set timers now.
And usually we don't ignore them. Sometimes we do.
Except really bad days. No. Yeah, Heidi has a treadmill. I have a bike.
Yep. And we set a timer every hour. We stop and do 5 to 10 minutes, and then we come back and work.
Yep. I do mine like every 2 hours, and I do about 20 minutes on my bike. Just enough to really get the blood up. If I'm angry, obviously I will crank up the tension on that, the resistance on that. So I'm basically just kicking for 20 minutes straight. That's a lot of fun. Neil Stevenson is famous for not writing in his placeholders. After that, it's just a chasing.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, people are allowed.
Fade scene. You know, there's a lot of places where you can add a fade scene.
Yeah.
Sure, no problem.
All right, so sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was actually responding to the Crowley. How badly did I just mess up your name?
No, that's right, so Crowley.
But yeah, I love talking stories. I love talking books. So totally cool, totally fun.
Absolutely. Yep. So just so everybody knows, we should be having our trivia panelists joining us shortly. I know Anita had a takeover for another event, so she should be here probably within the next 5 to 10 minutes. Drew is just getting off of work, so he'll be here as soon as he gets in. And then my son Robbie is joining us shortly.
Good shit, Robbie.
That's why I had to
angel battle.
That's why I had to pause.
It's gonna be the Angel Wars.
This is his first time doing a panel for YouTube, so hold on, I gotta pause again because
it's not a panel. It's a trivia game. You're fine, dude. I've talked to him enough. Tell him there's no bleach questions. He's talking to him now. I can see it. I know that face.
It's so funny because oh, I'm trying to help him. He's like, I can't access Google Hangouts on my computer. I don't know what's going on. And I'm like, dude, seriously? We did not plan this very well. But he's very excited. Hi, Anita.
It's Anita. Hi, Anita.
She's coming in.
Anita, I was bragging about you. If you can hear me.
Hi.
I was totally bragging about you, and you're amazing. When you were on Fantasy Fiends, you schooled them so hard, and schooled me too. Like, I had to go and do a bunch of research after that.
Yeah, well, mythology is the one thing I am good at.
You're good at a lot of things. I've read your books. I love your books. Remember, I just finished your beta read, remember? You're amazing. But your research and the things you know, and you were just like popping off the top of your head, and you're like, no, that's not even how you pronounce it. And I was sitting there going,
oh. Well, now, to be fair to those two, I looked up the pronunciations before I went on the show.
Well, I looked it up during the show, and I was like, holy crap, I've been saying everything wrong. But, I mean, it's Gaelic.
Gaelic?
No, it's not. It's not pronounced the way it's written.
Yeah. I actually did a research for a book that has not been published, a King Arthur thing, and I actually researched ancient Welsh.
Oh, geez.
And believe me, Gaelic has got nothing on that language.
Nothing on. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
My brother is actually a linguist, and he tried it, and it was a big no. Hi, Drew.
Hello.
Drew.
I don't know whether to call you Drew or John. Which is
call me Drew.
On your.
Depends on the day.
I'm an international man of mystery.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Oh, behave.
All right, so we're just waiting on Robbie. He's trying to figure out Google Hangouts, and he'll be joining us shortly. And then we'll get the trivia piece started. But just a reminder for everybody in the audience, and also for our new panelists, so you guys know, we do have a really cool giveaway for those in the audience who are participating as well. JD Estrada is giving you your choice of either the poetry crate or the Being Human crate. And so for you to get entries into those giveaways, all you have to do is answer the questions as we go along, or comment, whatever. And each comment will get you a point into the raffle. And then be sure to fill out the form that the links are in the description of this video. And that competition we will actually leave open until the end of Rebekah's tour, which is on 6/9. So even if you're watching this video after the fact, you can still go in, make your comments, and fill out that form. And we'll do the drawing as part of the last day of her tour for Moss and Clay. And then, of course, those of us who are on the panel, well, not me because I'm hosting it, dang it. But those of us who are on the panel have the opportunity to win. Drew, do you want to show everybody the cool thing you made?
Yeah, hang on a second. I had a little mishap with coffee over here.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, don't spill the coffee.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
You. We're just worried about the coffee.
I know you're not worried about me. I know you're worried about the coffee. That's fine. I understand that. I'd feel the same way. Anyway, I felt that, such an August trivia contest as this really needed something tangible for the person who's the current champion, I guess you could say. So we have the OWS Inc. Trivia Championship belt.
That is so awesome.
Very cheap and dirty cosplay thing that I did, but it amused me, so I did it.
Awesome. It is so awesome. So yes, if you're on the panel, we'll have the chance to win that.
He's going to wear it.
For future panels, because he deserves to wear it. Because
he does. He won the last one.
Yep, and so I will
better enjoy it because
if I get dethroned, I will happily send this to whoever wins it.
Yeah. So
Anita, that's going to be your belt.
Yeah.
Well, if I do win, he's welcome to send a picture of it in lieu of the postage to Canada. So.
Okay. Well, that's your choice.
Hi, Robbie.
Everybody say hi to my son.
Hi, Robbie.
Can you hear? Okay, you can hear us. Can we hear you?
Hello, can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay.
So excited. Yes, and for those of you who admire the belt, because you should, because it's awesome, we will be doing more panels like this. I know that in June I am putting together one for the Primal Elements, and then we will do one in July for the Dark Archer, which is coming out soon. So for those who want to take your chance at the panel, let me know. You can contact me on Facebook. I'm Heidi Angel on Facebook with 2 L's because I'm not that kind of angel. And we're going to go ahead and give a chance for each of the panelists to tell you a little bit about themselves before we get started and where you can find them. And then we will get started with the trivia round. Let's go ahead and start with Anita, please.
Okay, I'm Anise Stewart. I write under A.F. Stewart. I write fantasy novels and horror books. And oh, my new horror anthology just came out today. Abandoned, finally.
Cool.
Yes. Anyway, so that's and I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter, Scribe77. My website is Welcome to Avalon, and I'm on Facebook with a group and a page and a whole bunch of stuff.
And for those
you should
of
definitely
you,
join her page too.
Yes, you should definitely join her page. But for those of you who love character spotlights, like me, she does the absolute best character interviews with Richard the Butler, right?
No, Jenkins is the butler. Dale is the interviewer.
Dale, yes, that's what it is. Dale is hysterical, and his interviews are absolutely amazing. And he interviews a bunch of different characters from other people's books. It's something that authors can submit to do the interviews with her. But I absolutely love reading those interviews. They are hysterical. So for those of you who like learning about characters through character interviews, definitely check out her blog. It's absolutely awesome. All right, Drew, tell us.
I wanted to get pitched on as a character interview, but no one would allow him because I said he was going to pee on everything.
It's. What do you expect if he's going to do that? I mean, that's just, that's just antisocial behavior, Bex. I mean, come on now.
He's a cranky Kelpie. What?
Well,
it's hard to do an interview when he doesn't talk. He just makes faces at you.
Exactly.
Well, there is that.
All right, Drew, tell everybody about you.
Okay, and I'm Drew Carmody. I write, best I could call, weird, snarky fantasy. Right now, you can find a story of mine in the Phoenix Quill anthology, Scoundrels. I don't have any real author pages set up right now, but you can find me on, if you're so inclined, you can find me on Twitter at JohnC572, JCarmody75 on the Instagrams. And I got a blog that I write in very infrequently, but the mountaincaller.blogspot.com, where you can find the interview I did with Rebekah. And hopefully I'll do more of those in the future. But yeah, that's about it.
Also a really fun blog.
Yeah, I was going to say,
my interview was fun, but you've interviewed some of my other friends too, and of course, I had to see those, so I started going to his blog. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Absolutely. I was going to say, for those of you who get tired of the same old questions from authors, Drew does not.
There is no same old anything.
No.
It's absolutely hysterical, full of fun snark, and you obviously put really good thought into the questions when you're asking them. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm bored. I know I'm bored of the same old interview questions too. That's why I ask the weird ones that I come up with, and it takes work to be this weird, guys.
And you make it look so easy.
I know. See, you don't know how hard I'm working.
Oh yeah. All right, Robbie, tell everybody about you and maybe your Twitch channel.
I'm Robert Angel. I wouldn't call myself an author yet. I haven't published my first book. I'm slowly working on a book which I presume is a urban fantasy genre. And that's pretty much it. I don't have any author pages. I'm generally on Discord. Aside from that, not really much else to know.
I hear you're a fabulous dancer.
I shared pictures for those who have the privilege of seeing. He had the best costume in his dance recital for school.
I got to watch him get ready, remember?
Yes, you did. That's right.
It was the most amazing thing.
Yes, he really commits, man. He's awesome. Also, you guys can stalk him on YouTube and on Facebook. What's your YouTube user?
No offense, I'm not stalking kids.
No, it's not creepy stalking. If you creepy stalking, you have to deal with his mama. Just saying. But Robbie, what's your YouTube channel again?
I haven't been on YouTube, so I can't even remember.
Oh, you're
I haven't
bad.
been uploading videos currently.
Oh, you're bad. But yeah, so
you can find him under his name, though.
Stalk me and you'll find him. It's
I'm
true.
not stalking children, I swear.
All right, so for those who don't know how this goes, what we do is each person gets their question. If they can't answer their question, then it gets forwarded to the next person in line. And if that person can't answer the question, then so on and so forth until they get points. So that's how you can steal a point. You don't have the answer. So we're going to start with Drew. Also, people in the comments, feel free to answer along as you go as well. All right, Drew.
Mm-hmm.
For 1 point. According to Peter Pan author J.M. Barrie, where did fairies come from? A, the end of the rainbow. B, a child's laugh. C, a genie's lamp. Or D, Pandora's box.
I believe that would be B, a child's laugh.
Excellent. Good job, Drew.
It's a child's first laugh, though.
Well,
yeah, it was the child's first laugh. If I remember right, the first child's laugh broke into a million pieces and everyone became a fairy.
Yep.
I didn't
remember my Peter Pan correctly.
Yep.
I steal these questions. So if anybody feels that the answers were wrong, take it up with all the cool book buzz questions and things like that, because I totally steal these. I'm not this good. I'm all over the internet. So, all right. Up next, we've got Anita. Oh, Anita's got an easy one. What is a fairy ring? I even know the answer to this question, people. A circle of bluebells. B, a circle of toadstools or mushrooms. C, a group of fairies dancing. Or D, a magical piece of jewelry.
B, the toadstools or mushrooms.
Yeah, I totally would have guessed the magical piece of jewelry, but yes, Anita's right with the toadstools. All right, Bex is up next. This should be fun and interesting. That grid is great. All righty. Oh, this isn't even a fair question. Rebecca, what is creepypasta? And no, it's not haunted spaghetti.
Oh, is there not an ABC?
No, you just have to give us a description and see if it's
creepypasta is when a group of people would get together and they would build on a story until it became a full legend. It was a copy paste, and then literally once that story became big enough, it would go to a website called creepypasta.com, where more people could add on to it. They could check it for, plot holes and everything, fill it out, flesh it out, and make it up. That's where Slender Man comes from, Black-Eyed Children. I might have actually been there when Slender Man and Black-Eyed Children and the Rake came into existence.
What? There's one piece that you're missing. What genre?
It's always horror and or urban fantasy.
There you go. Horror.
I guess the creepy.
There you go. Awesome. Bex gets a point. All right. So right now we are all tied for first place. Let's see what Robbie gets. Ready, Robbie?
I suppose.
I suppose. Which modern fantasy book does Peter Pan's Tinkerbell make an appearance in? A, Inkheart by Cornelia Funk. B, The Crowfield Curse by Pat Walsh. B, Knife by R.J. Anderson. Or D, The Secret of Platform 13 by Eva Ibbotson.
I want to say that's A.
Good job, Robbie. It is A. All right, so everybody's tied for first place. And we're on to round 2. Let's turn this up a little bit better. Back to Drew. Which of the following is not a method of protection against troublesome fairies? A, wearing the color red. B, turning clothes inside out. C, wearing odd socks. Or D, crossing running water.
I think it's A.
Very good. It is A. I got that one wrong. I would have guessed crossing running water, but apparently that is not true.
Yeah, I remember something vague about fairies not liking running water.
It depends on the fairy.
Can't cross
Oh,
it
yeah,
because
it depends on the
it's too
fairy.
pure.
What was that, Bex?
They can't cross it because it's too pure. Running water is too pure.
All right. Up next is Anita. What is the name of Sarah J. Maas' popular Fae series?
I should know this, but it's eluding me. Oh.
We don't mind.
No, I can't remember.
Oh, no, Anita. See,
No,
I tell you, Rebecca. I told you she might get tripped up on this new stuff.
no, I mean, I know the series. I just can't remember the title of it. Sorry. It's just, I'm going blank.
For what it's worth, I got it wrong too, so don't feel bad. All right, so this gets passed to Bex. Bex, do you know?
I have no clue.
Are you serious? I feel so much better about this. Oh my gosh.
What's the name of
Robbie.
the author again?
Sarah J. Maas. I got the name of one of the books, two of the books actually. I got the name right, but I didn't get the name of the series right. That's where I got screwed up.
I don't know.
No? Ah, so then it gets passed to Drew. Drew, what is the name of the popular Fae series?
Yeah, I know the series that you're talking about. I'm just going to take a wild stab. Is that A Court of Rose and Thorn?
Oh, you were so close. It's A Court of Thorn and Roses.
Oh.
So close. I got Mist and Fury. That's the one. I was like, no, but that's like one of the more.
Yeah, I was going to say, that one of the books.
Nobody got the points.
I don't feel that anymore.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so it's Bex's turn. Which girl's name means fairy? Fiona, Freya, Faye, or Florence?
I could not hear what you said. What?
Which girl's name means fairy? Fiona, Freya, Faye, or Florence?
Faith.
Faye.
Said Faith, right?
Yep, it is Faye. Good job, Bex.
I know it's not Freya.
That's what I guessed too, and I was wrong.
What? It can't be Freya because Freya is a Norse goddess. I don't remember. I want to say she's like the springtime goddess or something.
Yeah.
She
Ish,
is the
something like
kind
that.
of overall-ish fertile.
Yeah,
fertility,
fertility, love
harvest,
goddess sort of
everything.
thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's who Freya is. So I know it wasn't Freya. I thought it was Fiona.
I thought it was Freya. I was wrong. Apparently, I need to watch.
Fiona, I think, means horse.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Comment. Oh, Regine guessed Faye, and he was right. Good job.
Way to go.
Regine also said that he's standing in a fairy ring right now.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. So, Robbie, now your turn. I am tall and thin and faceless. Often reports show me with tentacles that I use to control other people's minds. 2 girls attempted to kill a classmate because of me. Who am I?
Oh my god, this is the modern version of Slender Man.
Very good. Modern version.
Yeah, the original Slender did not have tentacles, and he did not mind control people. The new Slender does that.
No, the original Slender Man controlled the minds of children.
Is all about though is that
Just the sheer indignation in Robbie's voice there was hysterical.
Yes.
You can't school me on this because I was literally there when the creepypasta was being made.
It's like,
You have to keep in mind that modern legend to him is within the last 5 years.
Yeah, I know. It's
Modern
like,
Legend to me is within the
modern.
last 2 years, Mom.
Yeah. Slenderman came out, I think, 2004, 2005?
It was before that. But yes, it was before he was born. So for him, anything that developed after he was born is considered modern. All right, Drew.
Youngins. Yeah.
You are currently tied with Bex and Robbie. Let's see if you can break the tie. Ready? In olden times, people often blamed fairies for A, souring milk or cream, B, crops failing to grow, C, making animals sick or lame, or D, all of the above.
That would be D, all of the above.
Very good, Drew.
Everybody wants to blame Faye for some.
Yep, that's right.
Something going wrong, it's a fairy.
Gotta
Fairy.
It's probably just you're a crappy farmer, dude.
There you go. There you go. All right, Anita. A child believed to have been switched with a fairy is known as what?
A changeling.
Oh, there you go. You got the answer. I don't even have to read this.
Boom. You ain't got no time for that.
Sorry about that.
Oh, no, you're fine. You're fine. All right.
For your multiple choice.
Right. All right, Bex. You get to answer this one. She's all excited. Who is, oh, this isn't even a fair question. Who's the fairy queen according to most legends?
Mab.
Mab or Tatiana. Either of those are correct answered. Or Titania.
It's either Mab, Moyer, or Maeve.
I thought the Queen of Fairies was Tatiana.
There's also Tatiana.
She's also the same. They're all the same person. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's all the same person. She just has different names.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. You know what, you guys? I did not create enough questions, apparently. Robbie, for you, what is the only guaranteed way to kill all Fae?
Fire.
No.
You can't just kill everything with fire, Robbie.
You'd be surprised how much you can kill with fire.
Oh, you can kill a lot with fire.
And you'd be surprised at what you can't kill with fire, too.
Mm-hmm. Be amazed what you can live through.
Oh, I don't know. A will-o-wisp?
Oh, geez, no.
Or a fire.
Stop right there.
Yeah. All right. So, Drew, for the steal, what is the only guaranteed way to kill all Fae?
Cold iron?
Well, it didn't specify, but iron is correct. So, Drew is very heavily in the lead with 4. Next to him is Bex. So, all right. So that was Robbie's question. Uh-oh. Drew gets the next question. We'll pull into the lead. In E. Nesbitt's 5 Children and It, the Samid is which kind of fairy? A goblin, B, a pixie, C, a sand fairy, or D, an elf?
I am unfamiliar with that. So, what were the choices again?
A goblin, B, a pixie, C, a sand fairy, or D, an elf?
C?
Hold on, because I didn't mark the right answer, so I'll tell you in just a second.
This is intolerable.
Goblins and elves are not types of fairies.
Yes, they are.
Yes, you are correct, Drew.
Woo!
Drew,
Pulled it out of my back. Yes. Pulled it out of my someplace.
Out of my someplace. There you go.
Trying to keep it family friendly in the afternoon, guys.
There's a very smelly answer.
Yeah, exactly.
Keeping it friendly.
Okay, Drew, you know I'm on this show, right?
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Well, then screw that shit. Fuck it.
But my kid's on the show too.
Hey, don't diss me like that, Mom.
Some of it go, but not all of it go. But yes, okay. So, and that was the end of my question. You know, we only went through 14 questions last time, right? I guess we just had a more chatty and unknowing audience last time, right? Because I had the same number as last time. I figured I'd be fine because we had like 15 over. And yeah, we're out. So y'all, Drew won.
Woo!
Why don't you go look up some more?
You go ahead.
Only with the technicality, Drew.
Why not look up some more?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Bring it back. Come on now. Mm-hmm.
Regine says, when in doubt, Charlie out. C's always the answer if you're not sure.
Yep.
Very well played, Regine. Very well played.
Nice one.
All right. So, yeah, those are all of the questions that we have. Does anybody have any questions you want to throw out into the comments, and we can ask the panel? Not for points. Drew's already won, but just for fun. Just for fun. Drew's holding up that belt. Y'all need to come and take that belt from him next month when we do the.
I'm here. I got it. Come get it.
Yep. It's gonna be
Show me
awesome.
something. Hang on a second.
He's going to be wearing that at Renfest this year. I just know it.
If I still have it, yeah.
That's right.
Don't even think I'm not.
I will work diligently to take that from you. How about that?
That's good. I welcome a challenge, Bex.
I will.
Iron sharpens iron, as they say.
And see if I can make them hard enough for Drew to lose eventually. I mean,
Next time, it will be questions all about romance and erotica.
And I will lose horribly if that's the case.
that could end up happening eventually. You never know. All right. Well, I am not seeing any questions coming in from the panel. And it is Memorial Day weekend. So thank you, everybody, for coming out to celebrate Rebekah's release. She's done absolutely amazing. For those of you who are interested in getting Moss and Clay, you go to the link in the description. It has the link to her tour and the link to her books for sale. Absolutely awesome. Also, it has the free prequel, which is great. So anybody can get that absolutely free. You just go to her site and sign up for her newsletter, and you get her prequel story. And then
I absolutely adore my prequel. You need to read the prequel in order to understand book 7, too. Just a fair warning.
Oh, okay, book 7. I was going to say, you don't need to read it to understand Moss and Clay, but it is a really nice extra bit of fun stuff. So, but yeah, definitely get those. And then also, we have had some amazing stops on the tour. As we mentioned, Drew hosted her with a great author interview, and you can find
a lot of fun.
Yeah,
got a lot of people mad at me.
Yeah, and JD did a great interview with her as well. JD is the one who is doing the prize pack for the readers for the giveaway. So again, make sure that after you've answered all of the questions, you click that link in the form and fill out that information so that you can be entered into the prize drawing for one of his prize packs. Again, we've got the poetry prize crate, and we've got the Being Human prize crate, which, Rebekah, do you want to tell everybody how awesome Being Human is real quick?
Being Human is amazing. It is a mixture of every fantasy genre ever mixed together in this twisted, delightful way. They've got angels, and I don't think there's any demons, but they've got angels, and they got treants, and they've got living plants, and they've got fairies, and they've got vampires, and they've got water vampires, and they have possessed boats and space travel, and it's so amazing. It is
absolutely amazing.
It is the end of the world, and all of the mystical creatures come out to save it, with humanity not knowing, except one dude.
Yeah, it's definitely not to be confused with the BB series that was a cheesy, though I enjoyed it, cheesy representation of a ghost, a werewolf, and a vampire.
It wasn't cheesy.
It was
delightful.
I enjoyed it, but it was cheesy. You have to own that. I loved it.
Cheesy.
Nothing wrong with it.
Cool, but it was kind of cheesy. But hey, people like cheese. I love cheese.
But this is very different from
Italian
Human. So not to get those two confused. But the Being Human prize pack is, I wish I could play because I really want it. I have the ebooks, but I would love to have the paperbacks. So
yeah,
again, make sure that you enter that.
Only Human, by the way. You know, that's the title of the book, and you know, it's kind of used derogatorily against the main character who is only a human. But no, he gets in there and he starts owning everything.
That's awesome.
Even though he's scared pissless, literally.
Oh, can you blame
Really
me?
good. Really good. Oh, considering how he gets voluntold to join and the way he wakes up.
Spoilers.
No, that's at the
Oh,
beginning.
it's right there in the sample.
Yeah, it's at the beginning of the first one.
Yep. I think I'm pretty good about not giving away spoilers.
It's really good. So
Still, spoilers for who haven't read the sample.
there you go. There are some spoilers, but it is not to be confused with the cheesy campy one that we all enjoyed, but it's different, but it's still amazing. So anyway, be sure to enter those, and then be sure to follow along with the tour because we have a lot of other fun stops coming up. You get to meet Jillian Gilchrist and get a look behind Rebekah's main character over on A.L. Mabry's blog, and we have a lot of really fun I don't know what you call guest posts, I guess, but you get a taste of Rebekah's fun mind when you see the guest post that she did on Anita's blog for, was it American Legends?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Was on yours, yeah. And then she's done one on several others. There's lots of fun ones. She talks about the joy of research when writing these types of fun characters. The
joy and sorrow.
The joy and sorrow. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, because Arden, I know I did a guest post for him somewhere. I don't remember where, but his story is unfortunately true. It was a real event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arden's awesome. For those who haven't read the book yet, Arden is the human that gives life to Jillian. So he's basically her father. And he's an awesome character. I love him. I hope they get to have more relationship later on in the story. So, but yeah, there's tons of fun stuff going on with that. And then again, for those of you who enjoy participating in this, if you want to participate in future videos, go ahead and click that notification button on the top, because I'm definitely going to be working on having prizes for the participants in the audience. And for those of you who want to try your hand at the trivia piece, contact me on Facebook, and I will definitely let you know when we have the next ones coming up, because like I said, we're looking at doing this once a month for lots of fun books coming out. And if you are an author who has a fun book coming out and you would like to be featured, contact me and we'll see if we can put together a fun trivia panel for your book. So, all right, everybody, until next time, keep reading.